Hello everyone. Today our group will discuss Huawei Technologies, that is a multinational enterprise to provide a broad range of telecommunication carriers, mobile phones, and technical service offerings to satisfy the customer needs. The presentation will develop the strategic analysis to get the latest information from the organizational and external environments. It is important to identify the strengths and weaknesses of Huawei and the opportunities and threats of Australian smartphone industry. Secondly, the presentation will identify the strategic directions and objectives of Huawei in Australia based on the stakeholder analysis model. After that, the presentation will explore the business level and international strategies of Huawei based on 4 different theoretical models. In addition to that, from the perspective of strategic implementation, the presentation will identify the major issues faced by Huawei to execute the various strategies in Australia. Moreover, in terms of strategic evaluation, the presentation will explore the actual corporate performance of Huawei from the economic, social, and environmental factors. In the end, based on the analysis above, the presentation plans to propose 3 theoretic recommendations for Huawei to achieve above-average returns in Australia. The overall country attractiveness of Australia is satisfactory. Australian government has positive attitudes to the foreign investment, and the high level of political stability can reduce possible political risks from domestic and international business. Next, for the economic perspective, Australia's national economy has the largest size of GDP, and the GDP annual growth rate is around 3% in recent years. Moreover, from the social perspective, Australia has an increasing population and the increasing number of international workers and students. It is beneficial to boost the market demand on smartphone. In addition to that, for the technological environment, Australia currently is ready for the development of 5G mobile network that can significantly improve the telecommunication service. For the legal environment, it is essential to focus on a variety of business-related regulations such as business law, consumer protection, and employment regulation in order to reduce the possible negative impacts from the legal risks.
Let's turn to the internal environmental analysis. Huawei has a large consumer base and stable support from Chinese government. It is essential for Huawei to prepare for the abundant funding to support market development and global expansion. In Australia, Huawei has weak sales and distributional networks to reach more target customers, and brand equity is relatively lower. Huawei has a strength on the global efficient manufacturing system, but the company is confronted with the insufficient sales and distributional networks in Australia. The company has the capabilities to get benefits from the existing market opportunities in Australia. Australian market demand has shown growth prospects, and it is feasible for Huawei to improve Huawei's earning capability and market share. Australian market has experienced a similar increasing trend. Therefore, it is a smart choice for Huawei to benefit from positive growth prospects. Another key market opportunity is the greater product innovation. The mobile technologies are closely associated with the better mobile phone innovation and the expansion of 4G networks. The vision of Huawei is to build a company that becomes an integral part of Australia's information and communications technology ecosystem, and reflects our long-term commitment to Australia. The mission statement of Huawei is to serve customers whole demands, are the driving forces behind the corporate business model. The company has the strategic focuses on developing the long-term values for customers by being responsive to their needs and requirements. Huawei has the clear and appropriate vision and mission to leverage the business model in Australia. And the current corporate performance can show that the company has articulated the vision and mission well. The strategic objectives are mainly associated with the interests of various stakeholders, such as the customers, investors, employees, and the government, and so on. The success of Huawei is closely related to various business level and international strategies. It is essential to guide Huawei to utilize the available resources and capabilities in order to achieve the above-average returns. In terms of unsolved metrics, Huawei is focusing on the existing product offerings and expanding into the new markets. It is related to the strategy of market development. Huawei has implemented another strategy to deal with the domestic smartphone industry. Huawei attempts to analyze the current market opportunities and threats, and avoid making risky decisions in Australia. Currently, Huawei is focusing on the differentiation strategies to gain the competitive advantages. The company had special attentions on the investment of research and developer projects in order to support the product innovation. Huawei has established the manufacturing basis in the developing countries with the labor cost advantages. At the same time, Huawei has established 16 different R&D centers worldwide in order to gain the competitive advantages. For the sales network, Huawei has gradually expanding into the West countries such as the US, Australia, and Europe. Now I will talk about strategic implementation. General perspective. Huawei has implemented the diverse strategies to accomplish the objective around the world. However, it's inevitable to suffer from various barriers and challenges to reduce the effectiveness and efficiency of strategic implementation activities. The major mismatch is positioned in implementation of market development. Huawei has strong capabilities in China, and it could be better to capture more Chinese market shares rather than focusing on Australia and other countries excessively. In terms of Australia's smartphone sector, the position of Huawei is question mark. The market growth rate is rapid, but the market share of Huawei is relatively limited in Australia. Then the strategic implementation issues of Huawei in Australia, with a critical consideration of the business situations faced by Huawei. The company is confronted with the issues of the lack of qualified staff, the possible cultural challenges, and the stiff competition from Australia's smartphone industry. The current labor in Australia may be not familiar with the customer performance and the industrial factors, so that they may fail to set up and execute the strategy. As a foreign company, it is possible for Huawei to suffer from government's interventions and the high legal risks and costs. At last, the current market channels of Huawei are relatively limited, which could not reach more target customers.
Next, I'm going to talk about the strategy evaluation of Huawei company. Huawei has achieved the ideal economic performances in the global smartphone industry. The company's total annual revenue was $92.5 billion based on year-end exchange rates, with an increase of 15.7% over 2017. The shareholders could get reasonable and attractive returns. For the social performances, Huawei has many programs to develop the sustainability and bring superior values to local communities. However, Huawei might not formulate and implement the community programs to bring social values in Australia currently, and the employment relations with the local employees might be confronted with the conflicts and misunderstandings. In the end, for the environmental performances, Huawei has the diverse programs to increase resources utilization, efficiency, and decrease waste and emissions in the global manufacturing process. Compared with the competitor of Apple, Huawei does not develop the recycling mechanism to reduce the consumption of materials for the smartphone manufacturing. Finally, our team found there are totally 4 key recommendations for Huawei company. The first one is a stiff competition from other companies such as Apple and Samsung. The second one is a consideration on customer needs and requirements to modify the product offerings, which means that Huawei needs to put more emphasis on customer satisfaction and the distribution channels offerings. It is followed by the evaluation of changes on specific business environment and the corrective actions. The last one is a heavy investment on research and developing activities. That's all. Thank you.